Alright, so time for something different on the channel. Most of you probably don't know, but I'm actually into astrophotography as well. Just thought I'd do a little bit of a rundown for those interested or even new like astrophotographers coming in, just on what I do when I'm, say, picking a target or just even having a look around. So first thing I usually like to do is come over to Telescopius, because you can put in your location and it shows you, like I've got it sorted by magnitude, it shows you what you can see and where in the sky it's going to be. So say I come over to like the Pleiades, it only starts coming up around 3 o'clock in the morning. So by the time it hits its peak, it's at 7 o'clock in the morning, which these grey areas, they're the sunlight. So there's no point me trying to get a picture of that. So usually what I like to do is just come through, and if there's something I like the look of, let's just find one here that I haven't looked at before. All right, so let's just say I want to have a look at the Sculptor Galaxy. As you can see, it starts coming up around 10 o'clock-ish for where I am, and it hits its peak basically just before the daylight. So any of that, you should be able to get some pictures of it. Obviously, as in a couple of months, the peak will probably be right at midnight, which that'd give you more than enough time to get some pictures. So I usually go, all right, NGC 253, and go to the telescope simulator, which if you just go toolbox telescope simulator. So I put Sculptor Galaxy in the target selection. And as you can see, it frames it up, taking into consideration your focal length and your sensor size. So it kind of gives you a rough idea of what you can expect. So with the size that is, I wouldn't mind actually taking a photo of that later on when it gets a little bit earlier in the night, so I can get more photos of it. Alright, so out of curiosity, I'm going to have a look at the Saturn Nebula. So as you can see, it peaks basically just after midnight. So that should be a pretty good target for us to get whenever we get clear skies. So just remember NGC 7009, come up to Toolbox and go Telescope Simulator. So you can put in your focal length for whatever telescope or camera lens you're using, and also the sensor size of the camera that you're using. So whether it be DSLR or a dedicated astro camera, these are the settings for the ZWO 1600mm. Because it's a few pages in, I don't know how well it's actually going to look. Yeah, so it's that right there, which at my focal length, I wouldn't even bother about it. Even at like 2000mm focal length, you can see it's not really much. So yeah, depending on what telescope you have, it might not be worth coming to, say, the 5th page and onwards, because for 600mm, yeah, even Sombrero Galaxy. So if you go to the Sombrero Galaxy, again, 2000mm, that would be an extremely nice photo. But at my focal length of 600mm, it's not too bad, but it's very small. So I'm going to take pictures of the Lagoon Nebula next time we get clear skies. So come here, and as you can see, 600mm for the Lagoon Nebula is great. I just kind of use this as a reference instead of picking a target, going out, realizing it's too small, and then needing to choose a new target. So for the next bit, I'm going to go to ASI Air Pro, which is what I use instead of a laptop, and then I can show you how I do things from there. Alright, so this is basically the setup for polar alignment. So basically it takes a photo of roughly the celestial pole, and then after taking the photo, it moves itself, as you can see in the bottom left hand part of the screen, moves it 60 degrees just so it can work out where it actually is looking. And after it's moved, it's going to take another photo, work out where it's looking again, and works out the error in the alignment. So I'm just going to fiddle around with this for a bit and then be able to come back after I've lined everything up. Alright, so I think that's pretty good. Like, it's a real finicky thing. So do that. Now if we go preview, so what we want to go to, taking a photo of the Lagoon Nebula tonight. Alright, so while I was editing this, I found that the cheap microphone that I used to plug into my phone just started going crazy, and all the mic audio is actually not usable in the slightest. So I might just, kind of do a little bit of a fast forward until the next part where I've gone through, had a look, and we've actually got decent audio. So what I'm going to do is actually stop that. Yes, stop it. Change that to preview. Go back to the lagoon, well, center of the Lagoon Nebula. And then with hydrogen, I might take a 3-minute or 60-second exposure. And then, we'll go from there. It just looked like, if anything, it needed to just be to the right a tiny bit. Alright, so just finishing up the test shot. See how it looks in the frame. This is actually going to be a present for one of my friends, so that's the reason I'm being a bit pedantic about it. So I think, honestly, if we just come straight down, I think if we make that the center, hopefully it looks good. There's a lot of trial and error with this, but take the time now and things turn out a lot better. Right. So we'll take another quick test exposure, see how it all looks, and then go from there. Alright, so loading the test shot again, and I was kind of thinking about it. I might actually make the oxygen and sulfur shots longer photos, but less of them, just because I probably won't have enough time to keep it at 30 if I bump it up to, say, 10-minute exposures. But the only thing is, with the 10-minute exposures, yes, that is exactly what I wanted. Right, So I'm going to do reset progress and go in, auto run. To be honest, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the framing is wrong, so I don't want to keep it. But actually, you know what? We're just going to leave it as it is. I know I've gotten good results from it before, so I don't want to mess around with it too much. Alright, so we're just going to do a quick autofocus and then come back for, again, the first actual photo. Probably just put in a little montage of a time-lapse video. Alright, so first exposure, see how it looks. Yeah, I'm happy with that. You can see all the detail in the actual nebulosity. And yeah, stars towards the edge are a little bit how you doing, but a little bit of cropping because I don't have a field flattener. A little bit of cropping and that should be good to go, I think. Alright, well, I might finish this one off here, but then I'll be uploading another video just about my process of editing it all together, like stacking the images, putting it through Photoshop. And yeah, hope you enjoy a little montage at the end.